Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Heidi and today I'm doing the Book Habits book tag, which as you can see I'm not normally where I am. I am outside, and that is for a couple of reasons. One, my house is kind of noisy right now and I didn't want like a bunch of voices in the background. The second reason being I wanted to be outside, but the main reason is I was just too lazy to make my setup. Because for me to film, I have to bring the book cart out into a certain room, and then I have to find a way that's, it won't fall. I have to hang up my blanket. That's what I meant about not falling. The books would not fall. I hope not. They better. Yeah. Yeah. So I just figured, why not do it outside? Question 1. Do you have a certain place at home for reading? No. I read everywhere. I read on the couch. I read at the table, where we eat. I eat in my bed. I eat outside. I read when I go to the library, even though, I haven't done that in a while. So yeah, I read pretty much anywhere that I can. Question 2. Bookmark or random piece of paper? Now, I do both. I have this mug. So, I keep my, actual bookmarks in there. And so, when I start a book, I usually pick the one that I think, best suits it. Or, I have certain bookmarks for certain, series that I'm reading. Or, the main one that I'm reading at that moment will have my favorite one in it. But rarely do I switch it out. Pretty much the only time I do random paper is when I start reading and I don't grab a bookmark. If I start it, I'm at the library. But also times at home, if I'm just reading a book on the table and then I have to go do something, I'll go and grab a random piece of paper or playing card that's on the table and go and do it. So I don't force myself to only use bookmarks, but
Can you
I
see
use
me?
both. Because on the camera I can't see myself unless I'm this way. Okay, next question. Question 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to get to the next chapter or a certain page number? Now, I don't like stopping randomly on a page. I always try to finish the chapter, but if I'm called for dinner or I have to, fix a problem, and then I'll stop. But I don't, before I go to bed, I have to be done with, I have to be at chapter point when I go to sleep, or I feel weird. I don't know why. But, I hate it when I have to go to bed and I'm not at chapter mark. Now, if I fall asleep reading it, then yeah, it's fine. I was trying. But I've had to where, I stopped randomly in the day and then I never got a chance to pick it up. And then I'm laying in bed about to sleep. I'm like, I never finished the chapter, and I have to go and I have to finish it. And sometimes I read another one and then I'll go to sleep. So yeah, I don't really go by page numbers. Sometimes I do if I'm in a readathon or something. Question 4. Do you eat or drink while you read? Sometimes. Okay, yeah. Today I even did it today. Which I try not to, but sometimes I'm really hungry. Or I'll be doing it and then it'll be dinner time. It really depends on the food. If it's a granola bar and the wrapper, yeah, I don't hurt the book or anything. I don't do it if it's a messy food. If it's Doritos or something that's sure to ruin my books, no. Or pizza or something, no, I stop my book, eat, and then go back. But sometimes I can hold, if I'm sitting on the couch or something, I can hold my book in one hand Only pretty much if it's a paperback.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
I don't care
Check your
about the
Wi-Fi
internet.
network connection by going to settings.
I don't need the internet. Number 5, music or TV while you read. Like, I will read with like the radio on, just because for some reason, just the quiet of nothing, it's hard for me to focus on what I'm doing, which is like totally the opposite of how it should be, but it is. I don't like it for some reason. And sometimes I'll sit on the couch and, the family and whoever will have the TV on, and I'll be reading, and sometimes look up that's funny, and go back to reading. But most of the time, I'm not following both stories at the same time. I'm looking book, movie, book, show, not that kind, but it'll be on and I'll be in the same room. That way, I'm still having family time, but I'm reading my book. So, as you can probably tell, time has passed in between what you literally just saw and right now. And that is because right when I was done filming question 5 and the answers, I was called to watch, have dinner, and it was family time. And so now everybody's in bed or watching a movie or something. And so I figured I'll finish it. So that's why this is the weirdest one. It was so on the spot, and I was gonna set up my regular scenery, but my mom is working in the, room I usually film it in. So I can't really do that. So I'm doing it this way. So question 6. Do you read one book or multiples at once? I read more than one at a time. I try to do one and finish it, but I always ended up starting more. So yeah, I usually am reading multiple books at once. I usually read at my house. I don't go out a lot before everything started. Yeah, I just don't. I go sometimes to my friend's house, and we, a friend group, we meet sometimes, and but most times that's at my house, so that doesn't really count, I guess. But with the exception of that, it's just my library, which is usually once a week, but I haven't volunteered there since February. So there's that. But under normal circumstances, I read at my house and at the library if it's a super slow day, which for a month it was a bunch of slow days. Question 8. Reading silently in your head or out loud? I usually read just in my head to myself, but lately I've been reading books to my younger siblings. Right now, I'm currently in the middle of the Peter and Starcatchers series. We're on the 3rd book. We started it a year or 2 ago, the whole series, not this book. But they're such big books. They're really big, and especially to read them out loud. At least for me, I'm slower because I'm not very good with talking for some reason. I get my words mixed up, and I try to say things way faster than my mouth can actually say them, so they all get jumbled, and so, yeah, it's a mess. But they insist on doing it that way, because I found an audiobook. I was like, guys, we can listen to it, and they're like, no, we want your voice. I'm like, okay then, guess I'll do that. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. And then this year so far, I've read a book with one of my younger sisters, and so at just some point in the month, I think we were doing one a month. But I'm not gonna say stupid because I love it, but I always forget when I make those kind of plans about summer reading, because summer reading has rules, and with reading I just like doing whatever. But the whole point of summer reading is to get you into, reading more and things you're supposed to be reading and not just little books, which I normally don't. And they would count if I hadn't already read them. Because I don't think I've ever, unless I was learning to read when I was really little, read the book out loud the first time. Usually I've already read the book and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think this person would like it. And then I, read it to them. But yeah, mainly just in my head. Number 9. Do you skip ahead or even skip pages? I definitely don't skip pages. I think the only circumstance that I would is if it was inappropriate adult stuff happening, and then I just kind of flip till it was over. I haven't had to do that, but I think that'd be the only case where I would. But my eyes, I don't choose to skip ahead, but sometimes my eyes, I'm reading the top first page, and my eyes would just go wee, all the way to the bottom of the last page, and then I'll see a name or see a sentence or something, and I'll be like, dang it, why did I do that? I don't control it. My eyes just oh my gosh, this is happening. Ooh, over here. I don't like it, but it happens. I'm not choosing to do it. I've heard some people just want to know what happens, so they go ahead and look. I don't do that, but my eyes will scan the next page for no reason. And I'm I don't want it to. I'm reading this part of the page, and it skips to the end. And I don't know, but my eyes do it, and I think that's what skipping ahead means. That's what I would say. So yeah, I guess sometimes I do skip ahead, but not by choice. Number 10. Do you break the spine or keep it as new? I don't break it intentionally. I don't know if people do that, but if you bend it or something on purpose to make it broken, I don't do that. I just read it. I don't really care if the spine gets broken. Most of my books are thrift store copies anyway, because I don't got money. But yeah, that or it's a gift, a birthday present or something. But I usually don't worry about it. Some books don't look good with it. My copy of Peter and the Secret of Friend June, when I got it, had several seams or whatever you want to call it on the spine, and for some reason that one looks weird to me, but all my other ones are fine. Maybe it's just the spine is this orangish brown, so I probably already would have been weirded out with it, but add the crackness, I don't know, maybe not, but I usually don't care, unless of course I'm borrowing somebody's book. If I'm borrowing someone's book, I'm definitely making sure I don't break their spine, because I don't know how they are and I don't want to ruin their books. But when it's just mine, I just read it, open it. If it gets a crack, I'm not gonna be upset, because if it does it, you should be able to open the book and read it. If you're so worried about trying to not bend it, then you're not actually reading it good, if that makes sense. Probably not. It's late. I should probably not be reading this, as you can tell by that window. Yeah, we have no curtains. They fell off. Okay. Number 11. Do you write in your books? Okay, so literally before this month, I had never done it before. I had wanted to, because I thought it was fun, say little ideas about it, or my sister would clean up, the bad stuff in her copies. Usually I buy books after I've read them, unless they were a gift. So then I'm not gonna, if I reread them, now, I might go and I'll fix them up. But yeah, I think that's it. So, I guess if you liked it, push the thumbs up button so that I know people like it. Because yeah, I would like to know if people like my videos or not, because I honestly have no clue. Yeah, and I guess subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I usually do post my videos on Wednesdays. And yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye!